again, and I have just kind of a quick run through of Iron Horse with some more advanced builds, a little bit of tips and tricks, just to kind of help the raids go a little bit smoother. A lot of people already know most of these things, but this is kind of for maybe newer raiders or ones that are just starting to get into it if they do. So the first thing is, Lieutenant Gray. Now this raid has already been cleared, so I'm just going to kind of show you some positioning and stuff. You won't actually see it in action, so I apologize for that, but this is just to kind of give you that ideas. So what I have here, headshot damage build, Regulus, gunslingers. Okay, so you definitely have to have the Regulus for this, because this is what you're going to do with it, right? So you got foxes, using 2 pieces of Araldes, vigilance, punch drunk, sacrifice, gunslinger. You're going to use riot foam for this, and Achilles. So what'll happen is you're going to kind of stand off to the side here. You guys will be spread out like over this way. The healer is going to overcharge. Lieutenant Gray comes out here. He jumps on the train. You're going to shoot riot foam at these 3 shield dudes here. And then as soon as he hits the ground, you're going to take aim. And you're going to pop the... Most people try to hit the red. I think you actually do more damage if you hit the purple. One shot, it's going to destroy all of them. And then you just kind of pop your Achilles pulse on the boss. Whatever weapons you're using, just pop them in the head.
Inventory.
Alright, so that's just like one thing for this boss, right? So I do apologize, but I'll have to run to the next spot. Switch builds. Talk about some, I guess you could call them, niche places or niche builds, but everybody has a role to fill in these raids. The next spot we're heading to is the second boss. Most setups have one person doing upstairs, one person in the control room, one person sort of like the tank. 2 people on Alpha, 1 on Bravo, and 2 on Charlie. Then the person upstairs will come down and just kind of be a floater, help out wherever needed. So I'm going to show you the build I use for that. The control room, normal future initiative could go with it. You could put together crazy burn resistance builds, but they're not really worth it. You just need something that's going to keep you alive. You can use Fixer Drone. Some people don't like that because it gets stuck up there. You could use chem launchers. You could probably mess around with the Catharsis mask. So, upstairs. I have this down to a science. So let me explain a few things, okay? Once you guys get all set up, they're going to get the first code. They'll read it. Get ready. It might be yours. Shoot it if they call it. If not, when the boss comes out,
inventory.
I use skill build right here. Skill damage, skill duration. Use spark on my chest piece, waveform. Skill damage, skill haste, skill damage, skill haste. Use perfect combined arms. Test subject, sweet dreams, striker drone, assault turret. As much duration damage as you're trying to go for. Your sidearm doesn't really matter, I just have the orbit. I like using demolitions just because if those heavies happen to hit you with a grenade, it's not going to kill you. You can kind of get a free pass. So what I do is, when the boss comes up, he says, "Welcome to my world," mother effers, right? When he does that, I throw my turret right here. Excuse me. The reason for that is I've learned that these ads, except for the purple, purple is always going to run straight here. That's why you need a Sweet Dreams on. You can just bam, clock him, he's dead. But the heavy, The heavy's going to come out and start firing at this thing, and when he moves, he's going to turn his back to you. So that exposes his red weak point, making him very easy to kill. The only catch is, if you are close to him when you blow up that weak point, it's going to do some serious damage to you. So you want to make sure you're away from him. You just put both your skills on him, plus your shooting. It goes down pretty quick. But after he comes up, you know, I threw my turret. I'm waiting for that second code, like kind of in here. If it isn't coming, then I have to run over here to cover this other area. And I sit right here just enough to see that door. And I'm watching and listening for my turret, because you're going to see a red line connect to something down there, and you'll hear your turret going off. Or you're visually you're going to see that door open, and you're going to run out, clock the purple. You're going to send your striker drone in there to pick up aggro first on the heavy, and then just shoot him as much as you can. And then it's just a back and forth battle until the glass breaks and you get, you know, certain codes. And then after you go down, you know, I like to break all my skills. And what I will do is put on, let's see, if I could do it, I'll put on like something like this, or I have like my healing backpack with opportunistic. Switch out this for a restore hive, and just sort of become like a pocket healer. I'll throw my turret maybe on Bravo just to help them out, or you know, just wherever if people are struggling, and then just, you know, go where I'm needed. So that's upstairs. You know, it might take you a little bit to kind of get used to it. Some people use stinger hives and stuff like that. I've liked this. I've kind of, like I said, I've done it so many times. I know what's going on, what's coming on. And the thing is, as soon as the glass breaks inside, the shutters will go down, and the purples, they should stop running to the boxes. Now, there has been some weird things where they don't stop running. That's why you kind of just stay out there one extra round. You know, you'll know right away, because they'll be running, and then they'll just stop dead. Or they'll come out, and they'll start aiming at people under the floor. That's a good sign to let you know that it's safe to go downstairs. Okay, so that's that. I'm not going to cover like a lot of things, like I said, just some specialized things. And then
inventory.
Something that maybe not too many people know about, or do know, or haven't done it. I put this together for this next spot, right? You know, the key gauntlet. This is after you get past the key gauntlet. So make a sniper alley a little bit easier. I've learned this just by running with some really, you know, advanced raiders, you know, maybe even speedrunners, or just, you know. So what happens is you're right here, okay? Here's a build.
Inventory.
Tactician. You're using 3 pieces of Empress. I chose mask, gloves, and holster. You want to max out your skill damage on everything. Wyvern, glass cannon. I'm even using foxes. You know, for this, I'm going to use an oxidizer, and then a Acosta bag. The reason for the Acosta bag is so you can overcharge yourself. You're going to use an EMP sticky, you know, as much duration as you can put on it, and then I put this at, you know, damage and radius for your oxidizer. So the way this works is you would, let me see if I could just kind of show you where I'm aiming at. See the door right there? You want to hit that door, but you're gonna throw a grenade first, and that overcharges you. You're gonna hit that door. Hopefully I can do it. Alright, and then you get down here. You can see it's up there, right? And then hopefully you guys are moving. You shoot chems up here, and that should be enough to kill the 3 snipers inside the door. You can see the EMPs like more than halfway. When that happens, the key is going to spawn somewhere down there, closest to who's ever there. That's all it is. You don't detonate it, you just let it run out. You use your oxys to kill them, And this way you don't have to worry about, you know, the rockets and shit like that. You can kind of take your time. You know, if you blow, even if, you know, kill him, it shuts that down. The only thing is, if you're gingerbread hunting, I learned something too. Because the gingerbread is, he's over there, right? But what you can do, you know, with a build like this, instead of the EMP, you take the explosive one. And then mod it to pretty much well, what you want is you want radius. Blast radius. Let's see, blast radius. And what you're going to do is you would come over here. It's pretty much like right above this. If you aim like right there somewhere, you can see how huge that circle is. It goes above it. Blow it up. It will take out that gingerbread man that's up there. Alright, so moving on, we're going to the third boss. Alright, when that cooldown comes up, I'm going to switch over.
Inventory.
Okay. Yeah, just running through all this crap. Third key. I'm not gonna talk about the spots. Alright, so we're going to a third boss. Kind of a complex fight. A lot of things going on, but once you kind of get all the moving parts down, it's just more pain in the ass to do, right? So there you are, right? This next spot I'm talking about is just 100% hazard. So what I did, rock the Hollow Man. It's just, or one piece y'all. Could be 3-5-11. Could be, I can't remember what that other gear set is. It's like 5-11, but a little different. I don't think I have any on right now. It's probably my stash. I don't know, I forgot what it was called, but there's another set that's like 5-11 that does, you know, it's got almost the same kind of stuff I would make. It's got like armor, there's hazard protection, and something else. That would work too. It might even be better, right? And then using 2 Seska. Very hard to find on the blue ones. And your backpack talent could be something like Adrenaline Rush, Protector, whatever. Big shield. For this part, you know, if you get people that know how to kill the snipers, you wouldn't have to use a turret. But if you don't, you can use an assault turret. And you will be running diagnostics. You know, you're always taking the chain out. You throw your turret on the broken bridge, which is right above, like, you know, you can see it blue, yellow. You could put your turret here. You could throw it by the door. I'd put it on here because if they run by, this thing will still pick them up. But the snipers come out of this door. You know, you're pushing and holding the button. You know, when they hit it, you jump down. Alright. Then you get your butt back up there. You pop in Vanguard. And you pretty much rinse and repeat that. The other thing you're responsible for is you'll be setting cogs. And there's ways to kind of like count them. This one goes that way. And this one goes that way. Some markers, I don't know the way I count them. Straight up is 3. Straight across is 6. Straight down is 9 clicks. And it's the same thing over here. 3, 6, 9. You know, you can play around with it, and it's got to do with those valves right there. You know, left side's connected, right side's connected, but it's switched up there. You know, there's 3 sets of them. You know, and you're pretty much responsible for keeping the boss a little busy. A lot of people like to break the main door one first. That forces the boss to spawn right here. You know, if you're good or quick, you can get a grenade launcher out. As soon as those foam seekers come out, boom, it'll take all of them out, and you can keep people out of riot foam. You could ask people to throw decoys over here to help you out. You could even drop your turret, you know, and you're running with a really good crew. There's going to be people that know how to one-shot the lava, and the boss will go back in. He gets up on the turrets. The other reason you're going to have a turret too is you're going to be responsible for throwing it. Now, if you see, there, these machine gun things. So the red, if he finishes on red, you have to throw your turret on the right, I believe, somewhere up here on the platform. You can kind of see it's there. Now the other two, blue and yellow, it's going to be to the left, and you do have to get up on these like little. You have to come from the side. You have to get up here, and you have to aim it, so you can see it over here. Yeah, like that. And it's the same thing in yellow. And then the healer will overcharge. The turret will tank it, and you guys will kill him up there. And then after you do that, you have to make sure you get up the chain, and that you are the closest one to him. You want everybody else farther away, so you're going to be hanging out on whatever platform is closest to him, and that way the key will spawn right to you. You take it, you put it in the emergency shutoff that's up there, and everybody else gets to their computers, and it makes it a lot quicker, more controlled, less chaotic. Alright. Now we are running to the last boss.
Inventory.
Just gonna go over a few builds and talk a little bit about Faraday. Alright, here you still need like the two, well, I mean, if you're doing open doors you won't, but if you are running it normal, you need at least 2 status effects people to get through all these riot foam sticky landmines and shit they have to run. First they're gonna have to shoot these, they can hop over, or some people will run all the way down, and they'll cut across to the switches that are, there's one there, and then there's one over there. Kind of need to be hit around the same time. Shuts down this electricity, which is insta-death if you run through it. People are shooting the door. You haul your ass up there. Pull that lever, however you want to say it. That guy, right there. Cutscene, grab keys, keep going. Now we're at Morozova, last one. A lot of people will run a strat called Faraday. The old-fashioned way was just, you put 2 people on the doors, 2 people on those doors. You got one person here doing rockets, another person over there doing rockets. You got your tank. Healer sets a hive over here, shoots chems over there, or vice versa. And then as they're going, rocket guys take down, always the bullet. And then you take down the 4 train cars. And then you get in the middle. Now, with Faraday,
Inventory.
you need to be a tactician. Most of the time it's a tank, and some groups will run 2 of them. One could be a DPS. There's a couple different ways to do it. You could do a 1 tank. You can have like a main tank and an off tank for keys at the 4th phase. Just depends on what your group makeup is. But something like this, protection from elites is needed, but I have a ton. Armor regen, shield. The biggest thing is it's going to be your hive. Alright, and you're going to want, I put, duration. You get the good duration, good range mods on these. Still don't have a 10% repair armor and reviver mod. You're going to keep your, ravenous and concussion grenades. This is for staggering her, proc and vanguard, keep people alive. So after the first phase, this is where Faraday will kick in. Okay, normally, they're gonna, you took down the bullet, took down the 4 mortars. Okay, everyone's coming in. Now, I'm still learning a lot about this, but I believe the tank is gonna like throw his hives somewhere like on this rock right here, because these yellow lines are pretty much the cutoff. If you're over here, you're gonna, anything over here is dead, anything over here is alive. But you can see, all right, the circle is pretty damn big. What you want to look at is, you see this little thin blue line? That's the Faraday cage. You can see, let's see, about, okay, so this circle right here on the outside, that's the Faraday's cage. So if you're inside this little, the inner circle here that you can see that line, how it goes around? That is Faraday's cage. So as long as people are in here, they will be immune to shock. Now the problem is, they cannot hit the tank, so we'll kind of go over it, right? So first phase is done. You're coming in, all right? Tank throws his stuff down. Shield, everybody's behind him on the center line. Mini gun is going. The bombs are hitting. You're only going to be in here for like as soon as the bombs are done, everybody's walking out. Okay. The tank will leave his shit right here. Okay, and then he's going to run his ass over. Just kind of stagger Mars over. Kind of keep her busy. Everybody else, you know, the door people, you know, left side's over there, right side's over there, or vice versa, sorry, left is that way, right's over there. Usually you're going to put one person on each door, the other guy will be DPS and the boss. You want damage for this. You want to put her back in her hole, her box as soon as you can, because that bullet, it just keeps, it keeps loading. If it gets loaded in, it fires, that just means you don't have enough DPS and you're not doing it quick enough. Because as soon as she goes in, we're getting ready, you know, we're kind of hanging out here. We don't want to be too close because mortars could knock us into the field. So it's a timing thing here. All the DPS and the healers are going to come in from the sides. Now if you aim down your sights and you see how slow I'm walking, that's about how fast you want to come in. You don't want to run in. And you really don't want to jump in if you can handle it, if you can, you know. And you don't want to bump the tank. The tank is going to be here. Now if the tank's getting fucking pinballed all over the goddamn place, you know, because people are running right down the middle, more than likely it's going to cause you guys to wipe. So you come in from the sides, you come in slow, and then you kind of just get behind the tank. Bombs are hitting, 1, 2, 3, you come out, you know. The guys on the door doing their thing. Guys on the door doing their thing. DPS and the boss. Tank goes and staggers. And then you guys are going back in again, right? So first phase is normal. Second and third phase, that's pretty much what you're doing. Fourth phase, it's going to be the same kind of thing, except now you're going to kill the heavies. Chunga comes out here. Everybody lights his ass up. Tanko gets that key, runs it in. You know, then they start destroying the train. Then the next one comes over there. You know, rinse and repeat till you get the train car destroyed. You can, you know, if you get through it quick, you can kind of take her down. You know, sort of prep her in a way, but you got to be careful. And then that's all she wrote. You know, you go back in, set up, right? Now, the healer can overcharge. A lot during this time because more than likely people will stay back and they'll die. The tank's hive will be the one picking them up. So healer just has to kind of pay attention for like you know, when to overcharge, things like that. But it's a much quicker way, less shit to deal with, and more, you know, kind of straightforward. But Faraday can be kind of touchy if you don't, you know, don't enter at the right time. Or if you stay inside the thing too long, you will absolutely die. So it has to be a good count. Some people used to use turrets and shit, but I was told not to use turrets because it can draw mortar fire, which, you know, I've seen that happen when you put a mortar, you know, when you put a turret on the door, the mortars will hit it. Getting mortared inside the cage, not a good thing. So while you're in here, you're kind of free to, if you see a red circle on the left, move your ass to the right, vice versa.
Inventory.
Some of the other builds you could run here. This seems to be kind of popular, especially with Faraday. Some kind of chain killer build. You're rocking that tag 50 Nemesis. You're gonna be popping Chunga's heads, trying to kill them before they get off the platform. And that'll spawn the keys pretty close to the tanks or whoever killed them. And
Inventory.
this, aces, 3-piece aces and eights. It's headshot damage everywhere you can put it. Nemesis is definitely probably the hardest hitting marksman rifle. Rocking your TAC 50. Once you proc chain killer, you can have the tank do his little dance in the circle here and spawn snipers for however much you need. Most of the time, whatever side the tank enters on, like so if he comes through this way, it should spawn snipers somewhere, on the, well, it's kind of like right here, but the trankers all messed up over on this side. Now if you come out this way and then back in, it should spawn a sniper on that side. So the tank can keep doing this. Every time he steps out of the circle, sniper's coming. Every time he does it. Or you can have whoever's running this do rockets and take out the rocket dude one shot. A couple different ways to do it.
Inventory.
And I think that's about it. Just want to make sure. Yeah, the rest. Oh, one other thing. This is something, I call it door jammer build. Like if you're going to do it the old-fashioned way, or second boss, when you get to watch a door, it focuses on memento. Lots of stacks for memento. You're trying to use things like Golan, Bellstone, armor regen. You still want damage. SMGs are going to help you get your crit chance you need. So you could see, max crit chance, sitting about 158 crit damage, not bad. Using maybe things you wouldn't normally use, but it can still kill things. Scorpio if you get in trouble. Striker shield, keep yourself alive and increase your damage, things like that. Crit damage, crit damage, crit damage. Just a weird little build, but it works. It's kind of like a weird, almost like used to be DZ meta kind of build. 2 blues, 4 reds. So it's got a lot of survivability. It'll keep you alive. Just something to mess around with if you ever get bored. So you can basically hold down a door by yourself, free up another guy to do something else. And that is my little rundown on some tips and tricks for Iron Horse. Hope you guys enjoyed.